This lakefront house is worth millions, but without the right protection, their investment could be eroded away. Today I'm on site of a super unique concrete seawall build. I've never seen one of these in my entire career, and they're using a Cofferdam. And what they're doing here is, this is a temporary dam, if you will, to remove the water from behind this area in order to be able to pour a concrete seawall. Because right now, even though we're in the winter here at Lake Martin, and this is a normal seasonal water drawdown, there's still areas of this lot that touch the water, and they want to be able to pour a concrete seawall. Well, how do you do that while the water's up? Well, this is what this Cofferdam is about.
So all this framework's going to go, it's going to encapsulate this whole, I guess, finger you would call it. If there's all this is encapsulated with steel framework, we put the other liners, and the liners sit on top and wrap this entire framework system around this whole finger. And the contractor puts a pump in there, dewaters it, and we put these sandbags on the very edge of the liner to seal up the Cofferdam.
I talked with these guys on their lunch break, super interesting crew. They're based out of New Jersey. All they do is install cofferdams like this all around the nation. They come in, they fly in, they got all this equipment, all this rebar, all these triangular frames that you see. Okay, a couple of weeks have passed. The cofferdam is installed, and they're in the pumping phase now, and they're actually pouring the concrete footings. So on this side, I've got the lake side where they're pumping away this water and getting the footing area dry. And on this side, where it used to be deep water, they're actually, Henderson and Coker is around the corner pouring these concrete footings. All right, now I've moved around the point, and we're getting to see where they're pouring the actual footing in the area they've made. And then here's the lake side. I'm not gonna get down there because it's probably, I don't know, over my waist, and I don't have my waders. But I just wanted to show you how the Cofferdam is keeping the deep water away so that they can get just enough dryness to pour these footers. I'm here with my buddy Pedro. He's the star of all my concrete wall videos. Pedro, how you doing today?
I feel good.
You cold?
Yes. I'm cold. It's real cold right here.
Hey, have y'all ever done a seawall like this with one of these?
Well, it's the first time the company for now working is the first time he do this kind of seawall. It's new for me. I'm working for 17 years, 18, and it's the first time I do something like this.
Pedro is one of the most experienced guys on the lake of pouring these concrete walls. He's been working for Henderson and Coker, I think he said 17 years. So that's one of the fun parts of the job, is to meet folks like him. This is also a great illustration of why it's important to know these things for real estate, because I'm a real estate agent here. Why do I make these videos? Because I think they're so important. Because if you expect to buy a house and pour a wall like in the middle of the summer and all kind of conditions, you need to know what it would take to do this kind of thing, because your dirt is one of the most valuable parts of Lake Martin real estate, and you want to protect it. All right, today we're back and they're pouring the actual walls. You can see the forms behind us, and I think it gives a really good visual, because it helps you see the scale of this wall. And we're going to get Rod Henderson from Henderson and Coker on the camera here in a minute to answer some questions about it. But yep, wall pouring day is always fun. How many linear feet y'all had to pour?
About 300 linear feet.
And you did it all in one day?
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
It's better to try to do it all in one pour, especially because we're having to acid stain it, and the difference in the pours will show in the stain.
And what about I was seeing something about like when they were making the Hoover Dam, you know how they had to cool all that concrete off. How long does this take to cool?
It will be cured out enough to strip the forms off of it by tomorrow.
How do you know that? Y'all just?
I mean, usually 24 hours is enough to strip forms. 48 to a week, put any pressure on it. We'll wait about a week before we start backfilling. Next steps, we'll pull the forms off, get all of them out of the way. Then we'll stain the wall after it cures for several days, seal it, and then we can start the backfilling process and putting riprap on the front of it. They'll turn the pumps off, pull the Cofferdam out of the way, and it'll be done.
And this really is one of the most amazing concrete seawall jobs I've ever seen done on Lake Martin. And it is because of that Cofferdam. It has worked. I kind of thought it'd be like bone dry in there, but honestly, they've got enough water out of the way so they could pour those footings. It's been really cool to watch. Thought I'd show a closer look at what we're dealing with here because this is a good spot to see everything, all right? Over here, obviously we have, this is where the forms are and the concrete wall, and this is where Henderson and Coker has been pouring all day today. Over here is gonna be the backfill area. This is where they're gonna have to fill back in with dirt and all that stuff to get back up against. So when they get done, they're gonna backfill here and all this is gonna be dirt, and then this is on the lake side. So you can see the Cofferdam area over here. Gotta make sure I'm in the screen. This is the Cofferdam area. So normally speaking, all this water would be up against the footing of this concrete wall, and that's why they couldn't pour it when the water was up, because they'd be pouring into water. So that's the whole purpose of this Cofferdam, is to hold back the lake. And so I thought this would be a great spot to take a look. Here's a shot of me standing in the Cofferdam area that normally would have water up against it. Here are the concrete in the forms they've just poured. And over here is on my lake side, and this is the area where the Cofferdam's holding back that lake water. This has been pretty much the most technical seawall job I've ever seen in my career. And it is important to know about seawalls and waterfront because that's why we're here for real estate. My name is John Coley with Lake Martin Voice Realty, and I'd love to help you out if you're curious about Lake Martin real estate, or if you're also curious about what the value of your lake house has done over this market. But if you have questions about concrete seawalls, call Henderson and Coker. They're doing this one and they're the experts.